Hi guys, it's Kristen. So I thought that I would start off my first video um on a more chill, light note. So I thought we would talk about like popular TV shows and things that you see in everyday life that you don't really sit and look at and dissect to see their implications and what messages they might, be delivering. So I thought I'd start with the new show Empire, which is like a huge hit. Personally, I think the show is entertaining. It's not my favorite show, but So first, what really made me want to look at things was the fact it's on Fox. Fox is a heavily racist network, so I had like a very critical eye when I watched it and when I still watch it. Trying to see what messages they're trying to convey. And not only is Fox a racist station, is also a sexist station. So I just keep all of this in mind while I watch it. So let's start with the character of Hakeem. He's the youngest son. So I just wanted to start with the most recent episode. He was sleeping with two different women, one older and one younger. So I'll start with that. Um, it's a patriarchy. Um, I don't want to get into our definitions right now. We'll get into that in another video. But inherently, basically, patriarchy, the man is the leader, the man is superior, particularly the white male. So, you have to look at everything from that lens. So, it's seen as okay for men, to have that older female, relationship, but it's frowned upon when older women get a younger guy. Like the hypocrisy to it. Um, it's like when a boy sleeps with his teacher. It's like, oh, shout out to you. You got that, you hit that. But then it's like, oh, look at her, like, or like just a cougar type thing. Like now it's kind of finding its groove and kind of becoming a okay thing, but at the same time, mostly you look down upon a woman getting with a younger guy. So anyway, there's that. Um, then just by the fact that he's sleeping with two different women, if that was a woman, people would probably have more judgmental things to say about her. She would say he's a whore, things like that. But with a guy, it's like, hey, do you? A man is sexual. He's a sexual being. He needs sex. He thinks about sex all the time, like women can't. And he thinks about sex all the time, and he has to have it. And men are gonna be men, boys are gonna be boys. They're gonna have sex. They might cheat. They might, you know it's seen as okay for men to have multiple partners more so than women. So I just wanted to touch on that, how it kind of hit that on the show. Um, Also with his character, his continuance upon calling his mother a bitch. First of all, I hate that. It's very disrespectful, very disrespectful. Um, but it's also highlighting black men to look disrespectful. Um, you know, and I don't like that. Like I feel like Fox is trying to portray this message. Like, why do you have this? I mean, he consistently did it, and it's just so. And then like, not even just him. There were other characters who kept calling Taraji P Henson's character Cookie um, a bitch, and it's like, why is that? And it was all black characters. So I just feel like it's trying to perpetuate some idea that black men are disrespectful. Also back to him being sexual. Where did I want to go with that? Black men, long standing, have been characterized as hypersexual, like they cannot control themselves. And part of the reason for lynching was to control black men and their sexuality. Well, not I wouldn't say a lot of times, but sometimes men were actually castrated. Their penis was cut off and all that kind of stuff when they were lynched. It was to control black men and their sexualities and get them away from white women. And as you know, like Emmett Till, him just whistling or trying to get a white woman supposedly um, got him horrendously killed. Like black men's sexuality has always been perpetuated and has always been promoted and seen as dangerous. Black men inherently seen as dangerous. And that brings me to another point. All of the violence that's on the show centering around black people. Terrence Howard's character just killed somebody, like, pow, like, because he wanted some money from him. Oh, I don't want to give you my money that I worked so hard for, but that you're probably entitled to. I don't want to give you that, so boom, you're dead. Or just all the violence in the last episode, which also helped perpetuate black men as thugs, which I believe is the new word for the N word. I won't say it, but I believe thug is the new N word. It also helped perpetuate them as that and foster that idea and that notion and mental picture. But yeah, all of the violence and surrounding hip hop artists, like, it does not have to be a violent thing. Um, but it's made to be that way. Um, by the way, sorry for the crappy camera, but my MacBook front facing camera. Um, but yeah, and it's just different things like that, and you know, it's just so many things you can touch on. But I just wanted to hit on those things. On my Tumblr, if you don't follow me on Tumblr and you're watching this, you should follow me, beautifulrebellioussoul.tumblr.com. I touched on the TV show The Game, and I don't have it in front of me because I was trying to pull it up on my tablet, but it's not coming up. But I touched on different things and how that show, perpetuated racial ingrained ideas. Um, One of the things I touched on was how character Malik, he was going through a downward spiral, substance abuse issues. Um, but one of the main things he kept saying is, "I brought this city a championship." He's a football player, by the way. That's the whole focus of the game in the show. So he's a football player, and he kept saying, "I bring the city a championship." That's how he defined his worth. And if you really look at it, black men only see really two avenues of success. That's the only thing that's really presented to them: be a rapper or be an athlete. And particularly with being an athlete, that's where you get your universal praise, as long as you act right as they deem fit. Them being hegemonic, dominant society, white, middle to upper class, um, straight male. So, because they are the ones who set the tone. So, as long as you act how they want you to act, you get praise, and that's where you get your worth from them. And so, he didn't act how he was supposed to, but yeah, he did bring the city championship, but look what happened. They bailed on him and he was dogged and all that. But my problem is that that's where he saw his worth. Malik grew up in the hood. Why didn't he see his worth as, oh, he got out of the hood? By using something so natural to him. He didn't have to go sell drugs. He didn't have to, be violent in the streets. He got out. Why can't you see that as your success? He grew up in a single family home, and not that there's anything wrong with that, and I don't always agree that maybe you need both parents either. That doesn't necessarily make a better life, But that's a whole other conversation. But, why doesn't he see his success? Like his mother struggled. Why doesn't he just see his success from that as a person? Why is being an athlete, bringing a championship has to define his worth? And, you know, and I also touched on the character of Jason. He also did the same thing. But I also want to note that Malik did, in fact, try to be a rapper. He did have a rapper phase, so he didn't have any other phases. I forgot what I said about the Jason part, but if you look on my Tumblr, you can find that post. If you're interested on my post, just type in Beautiful Rebellious Soul .tumblr.com/archive, and you can go through a lot of my posts and you'll find it there if you're interested more about that. I also touched on the character of Tasha Mack, that's Malik's mother, and she saw her worth through money and through materialistic objects, which touches on capitalism society and how that also helps define worth, which I don't agree with. Money does not make you. I saw a quote, I believe, on Tumblr, and it just talks about, like, no matter what, like, your grave size is going to be the same. You might be in a tomb or some kind of fancy thing or whatever, but the grave will be the same size no matter what you have, your worth, none of that. It will be the same size, and they're going to be dead and you're going to be dead, and you can't take that money with you. So it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, she kept saying eyeballs, and she would throw her money around everywhere, and she just kept hollering that out so much, like that was what defined her. When her child's father, who left her at 15, came back, she dressed up and acted all fancy, she had a new man in her life. She did have all these nice things. She was also becoming a successful woman in her own right. But what did she see her worth as? Her money. That's why she had on her furs and her fur hat, and because she needed to define herself by her materialistic objects, her wealth. And I just find so much problem with that. Like, why don't you define yourself as, you were on your own, 15 years old. You raised a successful son. He didn't get into anything bad. See your success there, or your success as, you're the one who helped his career. You were his manager. You helped him get there too. That you're a successful woman in that, right? There's just so many different avenues, but I find problems, with how people conceive their wealth, because wealth does not have to come from monetary possessions or money or fame and prestige. But those are just some things I wanted to touch on. I'm gonna have plenty of other topics. Some more fun and some more, chill and, love life, short girl problems. I see that a lot of you still reblock that post, and it was either a year or two ago. I don't even remember at this point, but it's still getting likes and reblogs. So I really appreciate the love and y'all feeling that. So maybe if I can think of something else that's just as good, I'll do that. Um, but yeah, this blog is just gonna be about so much. Like, I just want to bring awareness to things, make people think, look at things from different perspectives, and just dissect things, and I'm going to be talking about multiple issues. I'm a black woman, but I'm also going to fight for my black men. I'm also going to fight for transgender women, transgender men. I'm going to fight for gays and lesbians, even though I'm straight. Like, I'm going to bring awareness to their stories and their lives. Like, you know, it's not just about me, it's bigger than you. And somebody on Twitter that I follow has that in their profile. And it really is. It's bigger than you. It's not just about your position in society, which you go through. Because I, as a black woman, I will face a lot, and I have faced things. And, my children, if, I marry with my race, which is likely, or maybe not, I don't know. I don't, limit myself or discriminate or anything like that. So, but if they're black as well, they're going to face a lot, even if they're black men, black women, whatever. And, Mike Brown, Tamir Rice, Lennon Lacey, who I'm going to touch on because I feel his story needs to be out there. There's more people I want to touch on, and there's going to be past stories that happened in the past that I want to touch on. But let me say, first of all, that a story that happened in 1987 I'm going to touch on, that's not too long ago. And these same patterns you'll see when I talk about that story still exist these days. So, yeah, this is my first video. Hope you guys like it. Just wanted to bring some kind of awareness.